TV
Yeah.
is something that I'm always really bad at watching because I just like watching things that are over when I'm done.
Hey, man. What?
Like if I sit to watch something and we hit the credits.
It actually makes a ton of sense. You like to watch things that are over when you're done.
When it's done, when I'm done.
I think you said
When I'm done.
Man, you meant when I'm done watching it.
Yeah. When the credits are on.
Then it's done.
But TV shows,
Yeah.
they go on
Yeah.
and on.
Uh-huh.
And they're always great, and I always enjoy them.
TV shows are not always great, Dr.
Always.
Hyperbole.
Dude, every single show.
You know what I love
here's
about-
the thing. I watch them so infrequently that I only watch good ones.
That is fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do the opposite thing where I'm like, everybody's watching that show. I'm going to try something different. And then I'm like, why do I watch trash when clearly the most popular thing is the best thing?
There's a
I'm like,
reason why.
Yeah.
But not every time.
No, not every time.
But in this case, I think it's one of those times.
Yeah, I think it's one of those times. Actually, Disney Plus was a great segue.
Yeah.
It's been being advertised for, I guess it's maybe only been months, but it feels like over a year.
It must have been at least a year.
You think so?
Yeah, I can't imagine they got the show out in a couple months.
No, but how long have they been advertising it?
A year.
You think so?
Yeah.
X-Men 97 is out. I think 2 episodes, maybe more now.
Oh. I only watched one so far.
That's what I did too. So I don't really know what the release schedule is. But I grew up watching the X-Men animated show on Fox Kids. Did you watch it?
So I watched it, I think like a year or two ago, but only finished the first season.
Oh, okay. And what'd you think?
I thought it was good.
That was your first watch through because you didn't grow up watching it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think there's 4 seasons. That
sounds
was a
right.
big whistle.
Yeah, that came from you?
Yeah.
I literally thought there was an audio malfunction in my headphones. That was insane.
I can't do it again.
That was crazy.
That was magic.
I'm waiting for the dogs to come running down.
What is that? So yeah, I think there's 3 or 4 seasons, and I saw the first one, and it's good. It holds up.
That's cool.
Some of the animations, a little bit, not lazy, but you can tell they cut corners in certain points, but not to the point where it was like bad or anything.
Yeah, I'd say that's where you need to have the most forgiveness is in the animation. But at the same time, it's pretty cool because it's like so 90s. It's very reminiscent of its time, not in a bad way.
Yeah, and I love how it's serialized. Like every episode is connected. There are some like offshoots and like just random ones, but that's cool because that wasn't very big in the 90s.
Yeah, I feel like there were some.
There were some for sure. Gargoyles did it.
Actually, yeah, that's the first one I was going to say for some reason. Power Rangers did it.
Yeah, so maybe it wasn't in my mind. Oh, you know why? Because I did watch a lot of like kid stuff, like SpongeBob and cartoons. And none of those were really interconnected.
Right.
So in my head, it wasn't the case, but there were a lot of shows.
Yeah,
cartoons.
when your generation came around, they were like, these kids don't want to do a lot of thinking, so
let's just make it new every time. 15 minutes in and out.
No stories for them.
No stories. Yeah. So, all that to say,
yeah,
the new X-Men show.
Crazy that it even exists.
Right.
When they started advertising it, it's just one of those like things that is more
Brett just stopped.
Everything left my brain.
It's more I can jump off that and say it's more for the older crowd.
That's a good way to go.
It feels like even from the first like 10 minutes, they set the precedent of like assassination and people being kidnapped.
Huge,
and,
yeah.
They
dove right in.
I will say spoilers for the original series.
Yeah.
As I guess something happens at the end of it.
Yeah, I didn't know either or didn't remember.
Yeah.
But I was like,
it's really
it's
not
fine.
A big deal,
I'm really trying desperately to move forward with things.
Okay.
What I mean is, you will know this.
Yes.
And listeners, if you've been listening long enough, you should know this too. I will want to watch a thing that's new or read a thing that's new, but will say in my head, I need to go back and like explore the history of it first.
Yeah.
And like, this is the type of thing I would not be surprised at myself to be like, I need to watch all of the original X-Men series first.
Yeah.
And then I'll start the new one.
Well, I will argue that it does give you a better appreciation.
I would recommend watching the original, but I guess what I would say with this is, other than that spoiler, which I feel like it's okay because it's just a telling.
Because you could technically start like a new series of X-Men movies with that happening.
In a way, I mean, maybe that didn't even happen in the last episode. Maybe that's just how that, they could have just started it like this. This is what I was going to say. It's more the fact that this X-Men series is coming out is more exciting for like artistic merit than just nostalgia to me.
Yeah.
That's the point I was trying to make and I couldn't find the words.
I'm glad we could go on a tangent to help you remember it.
Because I feel like this doesn't just feel like cashing in on nostalgia, especially after watching the first episode.
Yes.
It feels as good as it did, but now.
Right.
And it's not exactly the same thing.
Nope.
The animation is updated, but like the title sequence is the exact same.
It's pretty crazy.
Like shot for shot. It's so good.
But with the new animation.
Right. That's what I mean. And I think all the characters look great.
Yeah, they ease you into the show pretty good because it feels, I don't want to say the first episode, but pretty similar to like the couple early episodes of the original series where they really like introduce the characters and build up the story.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a one-to-one remake in certain parts. But yeah, it's all quick with it. Like, I don't think we'll linger any longer on who these characters are because it's like it's X-Men, you know at this point.
I did notice that by the end of the episode, I was like, oh wow, like we're just I didn't need like more of an introduction to Wolverine before I started smashing stuff, but like there were some moments where I don't know what part of my brain or what part of like consuming media this was, but when Wolverine first shows up, I was like, is it really him? Like I was thinking it was like a trick for some reason.
Yeah,
you're
like, is he dead?
I was like, he's here already. Like, but it's like, of course he is. It's a cartoon. Like they're getting X-Men. Right to it. And I loved that. I thought all the voices sounded really good. I don't know who's returned and who hasn't.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
One that stood out to me. I think Rogue's voice is a little different.
She was the one that I feel like I would have noticed if it was her.
Yeah.
And either the voice actress got older and her voice changed, or it is or is not her. But specifically Cyclops sounds like he's still in the 90s.
Yes. Yeah.
Like everybody else sounds pretty like good, but him specifically, he's like, I am Cyclops. Like he's
to me, my X-Men. Yeah. 100%.
But everybody else sounds really good. And not that he's bad, but I'm just like, he needs to work on it a little bit.
It does sound like he never left the decade.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, that's pretty Cyclops.
It's
like,
very Cyclops.
Being the hero guy, you know? Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought the action was so sick.
There was one point I had to rewind because it was so
Did
cool.
you?
And I assume you may have done it too, maybe not. But it's specifically where they're flying and they have a little visitor from the sky.
Yeah.
And Cyclops gets grabbed and pulled out. That animation of that whole sequence is sick, but specifically Cyclops being pulled out and what happens after that, I was like, this is sick.
And that's part of what made me so excited for the rest of the series because I'm like, oh yeah, this is what updated animation looks like. Because those are the moments where you really feel the outdatedness of shows like that from the 90s where the action isn't quite as... like it's more conceptually cool and it's cool visually too. Like some of the shows really hold up, like the Batman animated series. Batman the Animated Series. Where's the go? Batman the Animated Series.
Because it's not the Batman, because that's a different animated show.
Yeah, it's a different show. I feel like that art really holds up, but maybe it's the nature of the way Batman fights. Like it can be a little slower and heavier.
Yeah, but they also show it. A lot of shows will like hide
There's
it.
a lot of cutaways.
Yeah, but Batman you always saw like contact and stuff like that. So
punches in the face.
Yeah, and batarangs to the mouth.
That's true.
But yeah, the only thing that was like initially a little tough to get used to was the animation. I felt like it was it's a little bit on that line of like anime, like the 3D anime. But it's done well enough and stylish enough where I don't notice it too often. Yeah. And by the end of the episode, I was in. I wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah, same. I'd say halfway through, I was not really thinking about it, but there is a little bit of an adjustment period.
Yeah.
Where your brain's like, I've seen this show before, but this is different.
Right. This is like there's something a little bit off.
Dude, I don't think it'll happen, but I want like updated versions of all the shows. Like I'm immediately so greedy. I'm like, I want Gargoyles back. Although they are making a Gargoyles show.
True.
I can't wait to see what that looks like, and I really don't want it to suck.
No.
I'm so scared of a few things that are coming out.
Isn't it going to be live action?
I think so.
But in all the Disney live action animated movies, animated live action movies.
Oh,
like the ones that they're doing based off of those. So it makes me a little hesitant about that because. But some of them have been okay.
Wasn't there someone really cool attached to it? Wasn't James Wan attached to it or something?
Keith Sutherland. Kiefer Sutherland.
Keith Sutherland. The great Keith Sutherland.
But yeah, I have high hopes for it. I mean, cashing in on the nostalgia can be a double-edged sword. Sometimes it comes out great. Other times you can tell it's just not, their heart's not in it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. And I'm with you. I mean, a lot of shows being remade would be sweet, but you got to be careful with it. Because then if you get too many, then you'll just get oversaturated.
Right.
Like Marvel in general.
I know. I say I want that, but I really don't. If we get one good one, cool. I don't want it to become like a thing.
I want it to happen every year. Like give me maybe one show a year. Instead of like a couple shows in 1 year. It just feels too much.
How long do you want it to be? Do you just want like one returning really good season? Or do you want it to be like an ongoing?
If it consistently holds up, I don't mind it ongoing.
But you don't watch TV.
Oh, I'll make exceptions.
Yeah, I would too. I was for...
I mean, I do watch TV. I'm always so few and far between.
You said you don't.
I got to watch Shogun. I got to watch Echo.
Shogun looks great. Oh yeah, Echo. Echo's the first Marvel show I've wanted to see in a hot, spicy minute.
On the Hot Cusp podcast.
Welcome to the Hot Cusp.
But yeah, it's Keeper for sure. I mean,
100%
we've
Keeper.
only watched an episode, but I can tell right away they did a good job.
This actually is the first... I kind of didn't even think about it because I've been out of the game for a minute, but it's like the first Marvel property for a while that I've been like super stoked about.
Yeah, it is funny because it is. I mean, it's not connected to the Marvel.
No, like the
cinematic,
MCU.
yeah.
But I just haven't watched like anything really.
Yeah, I think we all just still. I mean, I'm at the point where I'm like excited to go watch Echo and stuff, but yeah, like I still don't care about the Marvels and.
I forgot. I've missed multiple movies at this point.
Yeah, so there's the Marvels.
Yep.
There is Secret Invasion came out.
Oh yeah.
With Nick Fury or whatever.
Oh no, you just forget their names.
With that guy. Echo. What else? There was a lot of stuff. I feel like
I still haven't watched She-Hulk or
yeah.
Stretchy Girl.
That was just Miss Marvel, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Stretchy Girl either.
I was close. I watched one episode and I thought it was fine,
Yeah.
but
So the fatigue's definitely still strong, at least for me. But
Yeah.
the X-Men feels like it's separate enough, and
it is separate enough.
and it's connected to it's another thing that I like, and it's all good.
Yeah. It's all good, baby.
It's all good.